Hello, friends. Welcome to hanging out here on Cannin Plannin. This is Wendy, and I'm excited to be hanging out and doing some things with you guys today on this first day in the first week in the first month of 2024. If you are joining me, welcome. If you're watching the replay, just let me know replay so I can pop in and thank you for participating and hanging out with me. I want to talk a little bit today about the power of paper planning and how you can utilize that to help you get going with your business in the new year. It is the perfect time to put together a planner and get set with all of your goals and all of the things that you want to do in the new year. And you might be facing some challenges that you had at the end of last year or throughout the year that you missed, maybe some follow-ups, you're having some overwhelming schedules, maybe your goals were kind of scattered. And I really want to put an emphasis on the use of using a paper planner. Part of the reason why I love Tula 12, that's the planner of my choice, but you can use any planner that you want to, really is the ability to make sure that you have something that's customizable to your needs. I especially love using Tula 12 because of this purpose. I can use whatever inserts I want. I can take out the ones that aren't benefiting me. I don't even have to purchase ones that I don't need. It is a win-win in being able to customize something. But I want to talk a little bit about using a paper planner versus starting out with technology. Not that I think that technology is bad or that you can't be productive with it, but there are some things that I would highly recommend trying out on paper first until you get a system down. And I'm going to walk you through a couple of inserts. Well, I'm not going to walk you through. I'm going to talk about briefly a couple of inserts so that I have some things and content to talk about for the rest of the week and for the rest of the month. So I want to dive in and talk a little bit about why I started using paper planning as opposed to going to some version of technology. And there is a major reason for that. One of the things is that systems change and you have to keep changing until you find something that works. I'd rather spend $8 on an insert and find a method that works for me than $20 or $30 on a technology program, which I'm not quite sure all the ins and outs. It can be glitchy, whereas I haven't quite discovered what kind of format I'm using. Here is the number one thing that I have changed in the course of my business with Tula 12. One, I used to be a huge user of a follow-up system on paper. I still use a follow-up system on paper, but it is now systemized so that I can go in, automized so that I can go in and hit go, and it goes and does the things that I want it to do. I'm going to show you that here in just a minute. But this is just one way that I have taken a system on paper and I've expanded it into ways to automate. Reason for this is when you are just learning how to do something and you want to make it work for you, you're going to try all the different parts and pieces. In the example of follow-up, I used to send personal messages through Messenger, which was fantastic. But there becomes a point where I am spending more time on doing follow-up and sending individual messages that are just pretty much copy and paste because I am just doing some basic follow-up, and it needed to be automated so that I could free my time up for something else to do in my business. And this follow-up system is one of them. So I'm going to go ahead and take you over to my planner. We're going to talk about that for a few minutes, a couple of things that I've done on paper, and then I've changed to systems and how I've been able to do that. Some things I'm still learning with the system on paper that I want to do, and then what I want to eventually be able to move over. So let's take a look. This is Ferdinand. Ferdinand is holding all of my business inserts right now. I want to start with the one that I was talking about first, which was the follow-up system. I've been using the gradebook insert for a very long time, 5 years going on in using this system, and it has worked fantastic for me. I want to kind of show you first what the inside of the insert looks like. This is a gradebook insert, and you're probably thinking, gradebook, that's really not for direct sales. And it's not the first thing I thought about when we got this, but when I got it's in my hand, the very first thing I thought about was follow-up and how I can utilize this to keep in contact with my customers. There is a place here where I have space to write my customers' names. I'm also able to write, when they purchased, if I sent them a message, maybe where they purchased. Are they a perk member? Are they doing some kind of specific product that they might have needed more information about. All of that stuff I'm going to track across the top. And I love using the system. Again, I still use it. You can see that I go in and mark all of these things every single month, and I keep it pretty much up to date. And I don't necessarily have to touch every single one of these items as they come in. It's more of a going into my system and making sure that they are tagged with the appropriate tag to send the correct email. And then when I need to, I can do private follow-ups because I'm still having this ability to come and check what products they purchased, yearly products, monthly products, quarterly products, things that need to be refurnished or not refurnished, repurchase so that they can continue to use them. All of those things I'm able to manage right here in this particular insert, which is the gradebook insert. One of my favorite inserts as far as it goes to using paper. All right, the next one I'm going to show you is content planning and how I have utilized this particular insert. And I don't have one that's filled out yet because I just emptied my other one. But social content was something that I used to do on paper, all of it on paper. And now I've moved a lot of it to Canva, and I do a lot of my content planning in Canva. Even if I'm doing color blocks, it holds my captions, it holds my graphics, it holds color block information, it holds ideas for using the poll on native Facebook stuff. So all of the things that you can do on your, it'll hold videos for you, all of that kind of stuff. So you might use something like Airtable, you might use something like Asana, all of those kinds of different things. Some other people use Trello because Trello boards, you can hold those kinds of things. I started on paper and made out my notes, and I still do a lot of notes on paper. But as far as like holding all of that stuff, that's all digital. That's all using technology. Again, something that I needed to learn a system for before I went into technology and before I started using something that was digital that would be able to help me. This is a social media insert. It's broken down into, this is a quarterly insert. It's broken down by the week. Over here, you can write your notes. Maybe you have multiple channels that you are scheduling to. This is a fantastic way to be able to utilize that. If you don't need for multiple channels and you just want to use this for the same channel, you can definitely use whiteout up here, and you can go through and come up with some ideas as far as your content planning. So again, another way that you can do some kind of paper planning and then move that into a digital format. How about calendar, you guys? I'm going to go to my calendar for this month. This is not something that I have digitized because I love the aspect of using my digital planner. I don't know what's going on with there we go. This paper planner I use for my tracking different information. So I keep track of qualified members, any new leaders, events that I'm doing, any new heroes that I have, which are my team members, what my rank qualifications, my current rank, and my current PV is, as well as my schedule. Now, for me, this will probably never move to digital because of the ability that I have to get distracted. So if I were to look at this same information on my phone, I would probably end up falling into a rabbit hole and not getting back out anytime soon. So my time is valuable. This is an easy way for me to check and get out. I don't need to feel like I'm stuck in some time warp with digital aspects. And this is one that I prefer to continue to use on paper. Now, if you are just learning a system that works for you, maybe you started with a paper calendar and you're moving to a Google Calendar because you have access to it and your family has access to it and you can sync your calendars. That's fantastic. Again, another way that you can get started with paper and then move into a digital system. Another thing that I want to talk about, which I haven't made any changes to yet, but I'm working on. I don't have anything that's necessarily digital for this particular thing, but this is our customer contact insert. In the customer contact insert, it gives you place for name, email, phone, birthday, order follow-up. You can alter it. That's what this is. It's altered with some stencils. Are we friends? Yes or no? Again, that's an alteration. And then in the last box, it says if they're interested in joining, hosting, or being a VIP member. Being able to track these things when you're doing your social interaction or social networking is a fantastic way to keep track of people, making sure that you are touching base with them. You are, using that opportunity to interact and grow a relationship with these people, you can utilize a system like this. How many times do we, as a direct seller, we're in a party or we're in an event and we meet like 15 new people and they're all coming at you at one time, and some say they want to book a party and some say they don't, and you don't have a tracking system for that. That's what this insert is a great use for. Again, you can go so far as just putting their name and where you met them and what information they might be interested in, how you contacted them. Was it by email? Was it via messenger? Was it in a party? Any of those things that you are experiencing as you are in the moment, and you want a place to house all of that information. Again, this is another thing that you could eventually move over into something like Trello, where you can use your contacts and be able to store your information that way. If you are working on different follow-up techniques, this is another one that you can use for that particular purpose. What I have learned through all of the things that I've done with my paper planning is to start with one aspect that you want to change. And I will never be the brand ambassador that tells you to get all of the things. And the reason why I would never do that is because you're going to get all of the things, you're going to have it in your hand, and you're going to go, I don't know what to do with this, and therefore I'm not going to use any of it. What I would love for you to do this year in 2024 is to find something that speaks to you that you need to grow better at in your business. And I want you to take that and I want you to create a system, whether it's on paper, digital, whatever the case may be. Of course, I'm going to say start on paper. I want you to put that in place so that you can work on building a method that you feel comfortable with. You grab that insert, you work through that insert, you find something that works for you, you create the system that eventually you may need to turn digital, and you start with just one insert. Once you have that one mastered, then you add another one after that. But the whole point is for you to find something that you want to do with your business in the future or throughout the building systems that will give you an opportunity to grow on your knowledge of direct sales, of being able to build those relationships, and of being able to put together a plan that will help you to be successful. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Stay tuned for more ideas on the power of paper planning over the course of January, and I will see you guys all soon. Bye, friends.